Well, good morning, Countryside. Pastor John here. Glad you joined me on this muggy Friday morning. Hopefully, you are having a good day with the sun starting this morning. I have just a few announcements, really. If you are not getting these right away as we do them live in the morning, don't forget you can find them on our Facebook page and watch them there. Also, our church website has a whole bunch of resources for you if you would like to continue reading or hearing. All of our sermons are up there. They're on our YouTube page, they're on our Facebook page, they're on our church website. But there's also a resource tab on our church website that has reflections. It's got just some Bible study stuff for you. So you can find that. It is www.countrysidechurchoro.ca. Long but easy to remember. So you can go over there. Our devotion this morning comes out of the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 to 4. And this is what it says. "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." This passage is so counterintuitive in our culture, isn't it? We naturally assume that when things are going poorly, we should be sullen and moody. We should, show that things are not going well. We post that on our social media feeds. And yet here we find that Christians are supposed to count trials joyfully because we know that God is working something in us. That is the purpose of the trial. The trial is not just to, see how you do under the heat lamp, but the trial is supposed to actually make something happen in you. Sorry, my screen here has gone blank. The trial is supposed to produce something in us. As we see this morning, the test. All right, hopefully we're back on. Maybe too many people using Wi-Fi in here. We are supposed to be looking forgiven in our trial. Our trials are fairly minimal. I've run into this recently, even though I understand that my trials are minimal. And it's brought to mind a whole bunch of things and really it's brought to mind this verse, this passage, that my trials are supposed to be looked at through the lens of joy because God's working something in me. And joy should should inform and reform my response to whatever's happening. Not that I have to be happy that something bad is happening or something, undesirable is happening. But joy should be found in the fact that God is working in ways that I can't see. And so we have to remain patient. I have to remain patient in what God's doing right now. Matthew Henry says this: "Christianity teaches men to be joyful under troubles. Such exercises are sent from God's love." I got to stop there. How profound is that statement? Trials are sent from God's love. That is a tough pill to swallow on a good day. But when you're in the midst of something that is unpleasant, that is even harder to swallow. God's love is sending this to you to make you more like His Son. Let me continue with Matthew Henry's quote. "And trials in the way of duty will brighten our graces now and our crown at last." So what Matthew Henry means is that the trial actually develops in us skills that further the kingdom of God, skills that we use to be better Christians now, more empathetic, more compassionate, more merciful, and then in the end we get a crown of righteousness. He goes on to say, sorry, I lost my place. "Let us take care in times of trial that patience and not passion is set to work in us. Whatever is said or done, let patience have the saying and doing of it. It will furnish all that is necessary for our Christian race and warfare." So, when we hear that, when we hear what God is doing, when we understand the trial that we're in is not just to press us, but it is to develop in us diamonds. That pressure, the coal of our life is being turned into diamonds for the use in God's kingdom. We can look at trials then and we can say with joy, God is working in me and He is making me more than what I am. And so as we go through this day, as you go through this day, if you're facing something that is unpleasant, remember God is working in you and working for you. And so as you do that, as you walk through those trials, look for what God is trying to teach you, and look for how God is trying to mold you into a more effective follower of Jesus Christ. Hopefully you find that encouraging this morning. Love you, praying for you. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.